As you know, I'm Kindson the Genius, and this will be day 1 on our Python in 10 days. Today we are going to be setting up everything we need to carry on in this lesson. If you are joining for the first time, click the subscribe button below this video. There is a red subscribe button, click on it to subscribe so that you don't miss any update from Kindson the Genius. And then there's a bell icon, that's notification icon, click on it to activate notifications. So what are we going to do today? We are going to be setting up Anaconda. Anaconda is a distribution of Python. Then we are going to be setting up PyCharm. PyCharm is a full-fledged IDE for Python programming. And then we are going to be setting up Jupyter Notebook. And then we set up TensorFlow and Keras. Now this day 1 is very important because if we miss out anything in setting up the tools we need, we are going to be having issues later on. So I recommend if you have Python in your system, please take everything Python out from your system so that we can start from the scratch, unless you know exactly 100% what you are doing. And take note that the setup we are going to be using, or we are going to be having day 1, is the same setup we are going to be using for data science in 10 days, which will be the next series that will be coming up after Python in 10 days. So please, let's get into the classroom and let's get started. So the very first thing we are going to be doing now, we are going to download PyCharm. We are going to also download Anaconda. And then when it comes to Jupyter Notebook, we are going to be using Anaconda, which is also a part of it called Conda Navigator as part of Anaconda. We are going to be using it to set up Jupyter Notebook, TensorFlow, and Keras, and a few other things we need. So this is from a clean slate, so I assume that you are using Windows operating system. And so let's just get started. So I'm going to open the Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and then we are going to download these two things. Now, if you already have played around with Python, that is fine, but we are going to actually remove everything Python from our system after now. So let me use Cortana to open Google Chrome. Please open Google Chrome.
Sure, opening Google Chrome.
So sometimes it's better to know how things work. So we are going to go to download site for Anaconda, and we are going to download it. Anaconda, as I mentioned, is a distribution of Python. So just type Anaconda download. So in this site, just go to Anaconda Python R free distribution. Again, RStudio, which is also something used for data analytics. We are going to be talking about this a little later when we are going to be talking about data science in 10 days. So at this point, just go down and go to, at this point, the latest version is for Python 3.7. For me, I'm using a 64-bit system, so I'm going to just click on 64-bit graphical installer. So I'm going to click on it at this point. So the download starts, as you can see, at the lower side of the screen. Let's now go to the site where we will be able to download PyCharm. So again, you simply type PyCharm download. So you can choose the first one, and then it takes us to the download page. Now we are going to be downloading the community edition, which is also free and it's full-fledged. There is nothing you'll be missing out from it if you are a developer who is just working on your project. After now, we are going to be going to add remote programs, and I'm going to be taking out anything Python I already have in the system. The reason is because I need to set it up in the right way. If I miss out, or if you miss out setting it up the right way, then most likely you'll be having some errors later on. So it's better we remove everything and then install it from the scratch. So the one you are going to choose is going to be the community edition. So just click on download here. So it actually redirects to the download page, and that is fine. And now PyCharm is also downloading, as you can see. So we allow it to download, and then we continue. Alright, so everything downloaded correctly. So I have the two of them right here. in my downloads folder. So we are done with that. The next thing we are going to do, we are going to go to add remove programs, and I'm going to uninstall everything about Python from my system. But if you are already a very good Python programmer, maybe you can skip ahead to the further in the video, but I recommend take out everything Python. Your files are not going to be deleted, your files is going to remain there for you. So at this point, I'm going to go to add remove programs. So let me just go to add remove programs. So right here, I'm going to click on add remove programs, and we are going to uninstall all the Python we have so that we are starting from a clean slate using what we already downloaded. So if I go to apps and features here, I'm going to search for Python or Anaconda, or if I type Python, I'm going to find out all the Python installation and I'm going to remove them. So I'm going to go to apps and features right here, and I'm simply going to search for Python. So it's going to filter the list and give me all the Python there. So you can see there is Python, there is also MySQL. So I'm going to take out Anaconda because Anaconda is what actually came with Python. So I'm going to just click on it and uninstall it. So just click on uninstall. So yes, I'm going to uninstall it as well. So this is the uninstall wizard. I'm going to just click next, uninstall. So after a while, the uninstall completes, then we continue. So you can see that everything have uninstalled successfully. So I'm going to just go next. So I removed everything Python from my system. This MySQL Python connector is not Python, so let's leave it. So maybe I'm going to go to program files to check if there is any Python folder and then also delete it. So let me just go to check. First, let me check my drive D. Right, so I don't have Python. Program files here. So also I don't have Python in here. So I'll go to drive C, program files. I don't have Python. I don't have Anaconda as well. So everything is out. Let's now go ahead to install Anaconda and PyCharm. Now, the order of installation is very important because both Anaconda and both PyCharm, both of them comes with Python compilers. Remember, a compiler is a small program that is used to convert high-level program code into low-level. So program you write in English, like if else if, is converted to 010001 in binary. A compiler does that work. Okay, but that's not the business. That is not what we are talking about. I'm just trying to say that we need to set up Anaconda and PyCharm. These are call it IDEs, right? So although Anaconda is called a Python distribution, but Anaconda application we are working with here is actually an IDE. So let's go to downloads. So let's first install PyCharm. We install it and test it. If everything works fine, then we are going to install Anaconda in a different drive. So we want to treat them separately, independent of one of themselves. So they will all come with their own compilers, and we have to isolate them from themselves. And that is an interesting thing you need to know, because if you don't get this right, you're gonna mess things up and you have problems later on. So I'm going to just double click on PyCharm. So I'm going to install PyCharm in my program files. So I've double clicked on it. So let's see. Next. So it's trying to install in drive C, JetBrains PyCharm Community Edition. So that is fine. Let me install PyCharm in my drive C. Program files, right? Okay. Create a desktop shortcut. That is fine. update path variable. Maybe it will need me to restart the system. For now, let's leave it. Let me not update path variable for now. So let me just go install. Okay. So the installation just started. So let's allow it to complete. After that, we are going to test it, write some program and test it, and then we're going to move to install Anaconda and also test it as well. Then we move to install our set of TensorFlow, Jupyter Notebook, and Keras. So you can see the installation completed successfully. Let's run it and let's set it up because it requires a bit of setup. Now let's follow the instructions of my steps carefully. If you miss out a thing, try to rewind and try to, or maybe pause the video and try to understand what is going on. So now I'm going to click on Run PyCharm Community Edition and say Finish. So it takes a few seconds to start up. So let's wait. So for us to use PyCharm, we need to create a project. You have to always create a project for you to write any program. Any piece of code you are going to be writing is going to be part of a project. So I'm going to create new project and I'm going to call it day one. I already typed in the name. But one thing you observe now is when it comes to the interpreter, as I told you, PyCharm is an IDE, Python is a compiler. So the Python compiler did not come with the installation of the PyCharm. So what it means that we are going to install Python compiler separately, and then we are going to tell PyCharm where to find Python installer. If this makes sense to you, that is fine. However, what we are saying is that PyCharm is an IDE. You can use it to write any program, not only Python, you can use it to edit any program at all. So I'm going to actually exit from here. And I'm going to go to the browser and let's simply download Python. So at this point, we are going to download Python and install Python in the system. And that is Python compiler. So just go to Python installer. So let's see. Let's go to Windows because I'm using Windows. Depending on your OS, you can also choose something else. Alright, so at this point, just go to Windows 64 executable installer. So because I'm running my OS as 64-bit. So you can see Python 3.7.5, that is okay. Python 3.7.5 is okay, or you can download the latest version, but for this program or for this lesson, Python 3.75 as of 2019 is very okay. So it's downloaded right now. I'm going to simply install it, or maybe I go to my download folder. You can see it right here. We are going to just install it, and that's all. So I'm going to choose a number of things. First, I'm going to add it to path. I'm going to customize installation, and I'm going to click on next. I'm installing for all users, and it's going to program files Python 3.7, right? Program files Python 3.7. I'm going to just install. So let's allow it to install, and let's see. So Python installation completed successfully, and now maybe you can just click on this. There's not. All right, so everything is fine. So let's go back to. So what we installed right now is Python compiler. Python compiler is what PyCharm needs to be able to work. So I'm going to go back to PyCharm installation. Remember, we kept PyCharm pending so that we can install the Python compiler, or the interpreter as it's called here in PyCharm. So I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to call it day one. It says new environment, visual environment is okay. So the interpreter at this point, we are going to select where we installed Python. Remember? So install Python in drive C in program files, and program files, and it's gonna be in Python 3.7, and you can see python.exe. So just select it and say okay. So that is what you should do. So look for where you install Python and select the python.exe file. That is the Python interpreter. And at this point, I'm going to just go to create. So it takes some time to prepare the workspace, and then yeah, so you can see I'm going to just close up this. So just to make sure everything is working, I'm going to create a Python file and write a simple script and try to just test the installation to make sure everything is working. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to right click on the one and just say new Python file, and yeah, Python files, and I'm going to name it. Let's call it just test Python file. So you can see test.py right here. So I'm going to type something. Let me just type welcome to Python. Welcome to day 1 of Python in 10 days. Okay, so, and I'm going to go to run and say run. So let's see if everything worked perfectly. So just select, click on run. So when you click on Python console, it brings out this page. Just say allow. Alright, so I'm going to click on run again. Let's see. So after typing the code, I'm going to click on run. So now I'm going to click on this button, run. So after typing in the code, you can just right click on the page and just choose run test. Of course, run the name of the file or whatever name of the file name you use. So you can see display the output, welcome to Python in 10 days right here. You can see it right here, okay? So everything is working so far. Yeah, I normally go to view and choose appearance and choose enter presentation mode. When I go to presentation mode, it displays everything very bold. So I can right click and say run test, and you can see that it's going to run and display the result right here. So we completed testing of PyCharm. We installed Python compiler, installed PyCharm IDE, and we are ready to start working at this point with PyCharm. So the next part now will be installation of Anaconda. So let's do it. So let me put away PyCharm. I'm going to just close everything. Let me start by exiting the presentation mode. I'm going to close this. And then let's go to our download folder and let's look for Anaconda, the Anaconda installer, and let's install it. This time I'm going to install Anaconda in drive D. I think I installed PyCharm in my drive C. Now I'm going to install Anaconda in my drive D. So I want them to be isolated so that when I'm working with them, I can actually know which one I'm working with. So one thing with Anaconda comes with its own Python. In case of PyCharm, you have to download Python and configure PyCharm with Python compiler. But Anaconda is a bit easy because it comes with bundled with the Python distribution. So I'm going to click on Anaconda at this point and double click on it. So let's start installing it. So it takes a few seconds, but it's going to come up and then we'll continue. So Anaconda comes up with the installation wizard. Just go next, agree. Now it says either you install just for yourself or for everyone. So maybe I'll go for just me. So now it's going to see users HP Anaconda. Okay. Now if I check where I installed PyCharm, if I go to my drive C, I'm going to program files. You'll see that JetBrains, you'll see that PyCharm, which is under JetBrains, installed in my drive C, and that is fine. And also Python, or the Python compiler, installed in my drive C, as you can see right here. Now this is for PyCharm. I don't want Anaconda to mix up with this. I want Anaconda to be in drive D, in a different drive. Okay. If you don't have double partition in your system, that is also fine, but you can now install also Anaconda in a different folder. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to browse I'm going to browse, and I'm going to choose drive D. This PC drive D, and I'm going to choose program files. Okay, so program files, I'm going to just create a new folder, Anaconda, and say OK. So it's going to install in my drive D program files Anaconda. So I'm going to just say next. It contains one space. Okay. So Anaconda installation starts at this point. I'm going to just say next. Agree. Just me. So you want to install in C uses Anaconda, but I'm actually going to install it somewhere else. Maybe I'll choose a different place. Maybe I'll install it in my drive D. Let's me install it in my drive D, and yeah, let me just create a new folder called Anaconda. So I'm installing it in my drive D inside a folder called Anaconda, right? Alright, so inside the Anaconda, it's not in program files. I have a reason for doing this. So this is what you should do. Drive D Anaconda or drive C Anaconda, but it's better you install it a different location than you install PyCharm and Python. So these ads, so for now, just not recommended. Don't click on this button, on this checkbox here, and just say install. So let's allow it to install, after which we are not done yet. We are going to still set up Jupyter Notebook and set up TensorFlow and set up Keras. This takes a little time, and we are going to do it together as well. So Anaconda installed completely, but we are not done yet. We are going to learn more, blah blah blah. No. So we are going to open Anaconda Navigator, so that we use Anaconda Navigator to set up a few other things. Anaconda Navigator is an application that comes with Anaconda that helps you set up applications that are in the comes with the Anaconda installer. So if you go to all programs, you go to Anaconda, you'll see that there's a number of things right there. You can see Conda Navigator, PowerShell, Anaconda from Jupyter Notebook, and so on. Now, I would like us to go to Anaconda Navigator. So let's see what is there. Let's use it to set up TensorFlow and Keras. So this is what the Anaconda Navigator looks like. You have a number of tools right there. A number of them have been installed, for instance, Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, Spider, and Visual Studio Code. So for now, we are okay. So now let's install TensorFlow. The reason is because I'll open Jupyter Notebook right now by clicking on Launch. You can also open Jupyter Notebook from the program files and find under the Anaconda installation. You can see Jupyter Notebook right here. This is called the base environment. That is when you're opening Jupyter Notebook like this. When you're opening it right from the initial installation, it will be running on the base environment. An environment is simply a place that programs execute and programs run. So let's see. So Jupyter Notebook actually opens a web page, right? So this Jupyter Notebook server runs, and you're able to access, create notebooks from a web page. Now, a notebook is simply a page where you write programs. You can run those programs in this page and see the result. At the same time, you can plot graphs. You can package everything in an HTML page. We are going to be talking about this a little later. Let's just test that and make sure that Jupyter Notebook is installed. That Jupyter Notebook is working perfectly well. So I'm going to just say new Python 3. Let's create a new file and just run it. In Jupyter Notebook, it works a bit different than PyCharm. Jupyter Notebook allows you to type your programs in cells. So let's type the same program, print welcome to day 1 of Python in 10 days. Okay, so to run program on Jupyter Notebook, you simply click on the run button right here, run, and now it's working perfectly well. But let me say import TensorFlow as TF. There's no module named TensorFlow. So let's set up TensorFlow and also set up Keras. So if I go back to at this point, you have applications on base or root. So what you should do now is to go to environment. So here in environment, you can see base environment. For now, that is where it should be. So we are going to go to, if we search for TensorFlow at this point, you'll see that TensorFlow is not installed in the base environment. Base environment is simply where we are working, okay? So if I go to not installed, at this point I can type TensorFlow and look for TensorFlow and Keras. So at this point I'm going to select TensorFlow. I'm also going to select Keras, and I'm going to select the data set, maybe TensorFlow Hub. Okay, so for now we have TensorFlow base, maybe okay, it's fine as well. So I've selected all these modules, and we can now click on apply at the lower side. So let me just shift the window so that you'll be able to see apply. So you can see apply right there. Shift it. So you can see apply, just click on it. So I think it's going to display some kind of license or some policy you need to accept. So at this point, just click on apply as well. So you can now apply all these modules to the base environment. So click on apply. After now, we are not going to, I think we are completely done. Just to tell you, this is how to find modules to install. For instance, NumPy, I think that one is already added by default. But there are any other module you would like to look for, just search for it here and then select it and then just apply it to your base package. Another thing you can do, maybe you don't see a module, just simply update the index by clicking on this icon here, update index, and then you search again, you'll be able to see the module. So let's allow it to update TensorFlow, and then we go ahead to test it again. So you can see it's installing, so we can give a little time. So you can see that it completely applying TensorFlow and Keras and other modules is complete right now. So I don't know if I need to restart Jupyter Notebook, but for now I'm going to just close the Anaconda Navigator. So this is Anaconda Navigator. It's very important. Maybe later on when we do data science in 10 days, we are going to be using many of these tools here. At least we are going to be using RStudio, we are going to be using Spider, a bit of Orange. Maybe I introduce you to some of these tools if you want to move on in developing skills in data analysis and data science and machine learning as well. So let me close up Anaconda Navigator. Yeah, so I can actually quit, but I'm running Jupyter Notebook from Anaconda Navigator, so let me just cancel and leave it open. So now let's do the same thing again and see if we have that module. So import TensorFlow as TF, and let me run it. So at this point you can see we have TensorFlow right there. I can also execute from TensorFlow import Keras, okay, and run it as well. So everything is perfectly okay, and this ends the one of our machine learning of our Python in 10 days. This has been informative for you. Like this video, subscribe if you are just joining, share it around the social network profile on Facebook and so on, so that we can have as many as possible to join in this class and be able to benefit from this class. What have we covered today? Let's just recap. First, we're able to remove all the we're able to download PyCharm. We downloaded Anaconda. We tried to set up PyCharm, and it required that we needed to download and install Python compiler or Python interpreter. So we downloaded and installed Python interpreter or compiler, Python 3.7, and then we went back to PyCharm and added the Python interpreter to PyCharm, and we're able to test PyCharm using the Python interpreter. So PyCharm works with Python compiler. Then we installed Anaconda, opened the Anaconda Navigator, and installed the models we need, which is TensorFlow and Keras. At this point, we are completely set up everything we need to carry on with our Python in 10 days. I'd like to recommend you have any challenges, let me know. Leave the comment in the description box. Reach me personally. Try to request for my number. I'm going to do a face-to-face with you if you want. Try to help you solve your problems if there's any. I'd like to thank you for viewing. I'd like to recommend and encourage you not to give up. Try to follow this lesson right to the end. And then we are going to move on in part 2, where we are going to now be working on your first Python program, maybe while talking about variables and things like that. So let's move on to day 2.